One of the greatest ways to figure out whether or not you're going to like an album is whether or not you like the intro. Now, intros are very important and very significant because if they're done right, they structure and conceptually give you an idea based on what this entire album and this whole conceptual process is going to be. NF is one of the greatest at this, if not the greatest. And I want to talk to you guys about his intros and how all of these different intros on all these different albums cohesively bring in one story and talk about where he is today towards the end of the video. So that sounds like a journey y'all are willing to go on. Let's start the ride, man. And I wanted to start off with NF's intro from Mansion instead of the song Mansion, because everybody knows the song Mansion, but a lot of people don't know about the intro to it. And the intro sets a very important precedent to this whole process. Check this out. Check out some of these lyrics.
So, some people they looking like wow. The moment you told me that you was a rapper, I couldn't believe it. You believe it now? Step in the booth and I'm murdering. You never heard of a rapper that killer like I do. I sleep on the couch in the studio, stay up till 3 in the morning and write till I get more. The moment I wake up, I feel like I don't even sleep and I'm ready to put on my record.
See, this is important to me, and this is structurally important to this whole process that we're going to be talking about. We're going to get into some great intros, but the reason that I wanted to do this is because he's literally telling you, like, I know, when you see me, I don't look like a rapper, but I put my all into this. I put everything I got into this. And the reason why he puts everything into his music is going to come together a little bit later on. And most musicians do not put everything that they got into the music. They could care less about the outcome of the music. They're just all about that paycheck. And NF sets off right here from the beginning, the very beginning of his outlandish career. He starts off by telling you, hey, I don't care about the money. I don't care about the fame. I don't care about the fortune like that, man. I care about my message, my fans, and this process. And I love this because I'm a Christian. And whenever I first heard about NF, I thought that he was a Christian rapper, so to speak, right? Like, like Lecrae. But he's way beyond that. And that's okay. He's never done anything to spite Christianity. He's never done anything to insinuate that he doesn't love Jesus. His music is just a different set. It's a different tone. And that's okay. He's, like he says later on different parts of another album, I don't make music for the Christians that are sitting at the pews, man. I'm out here making pain music for the people that need this relatability thread to hold on to so they can feel like somebody else out here understands what they're going through. And that's a God-given talent and it's divinity. And I appreciate that. But I also love the fact that he's saying it like, I know, like, you can't believe that I'm a rapper. You believe it now? Listen to the talent. Let the music speak for itself. Doesn't matter what I look like. I could care less about how you perceive me. Let the music speak for itself. Listen to the work and the ethic that goes into this process. And I think he does a great job of that. And the reason that that's important leading into the conception of all these other albums is because his identity, who he is at his core, never shifts. It never shifts. And with this intro going right into the title track Mansion, which is a great song within itself, Mansion is a story about what goes on in his head and how he has certain aspects in his brain that he kind of blocks off and doesn't really want to open up because it causes too much trauma. And it's something that he doesn't want to let out, right? Like, these are secrets. These are very personal experiences that hurts him to even speak on or talk about. But essentially what he's saying here is like, I feel like this is my God-given purpose. This intro is saying, welcome inside. He's letting you know off the very first hit of his career, the very first real step that he took in his career. Hey, this is vulnerable territory. Welcome in, right? And there's so many songs on here that really bring this home, like Paralyzed, Mansion itself. There's a song on this album called Notepad, which, bro, I mean, I appreciate all of this because it's real hip hop. It's that hip hop that makes you feel something. And the fact that he's a Christian at this point in time is really dope to me. It's like a connection thread. It's like, okay, I can relate to this guy. He's a Christian, but he's also just like a real person, and he's not out here being judgmental. He's out here being vulnerable and opening up. So there's like a deeper meaning to this whole process where I'm just getting to know Nate, and I recognize he has problems just like I have problems. And he's willing to be vulnerable enough for me to feel like I can actually have a relationship with him through the music. And I think that that's super, super dope. It's a super good way to start your career. And it's why I chose to go with intro one instead of Mansion and leading into the process of all these other introductions. It's literally what happens when your problems become kind of the structure of who you are, right? And he does an amazing job. Like, it sounds great. And this is one of the first theatrical, like, oh, this sounds like this could be like in a movie, like a soundtrack. And he has continued to run with that style ever since.
Been through a lot of my life and it's hard to get people to listen when no one's behind you. And then Capital came in the picture and gave me a shot. And look at it now. I look at the team I'm dealing with. These people ain't playing around. Looking back, I got a lap. I was in a whole different place a year ago. I look at the math, I look at the map, and thank you God, I swear it's a miracle. And I'm sorry, but I gotta leave. But man, this track was beautiful. The least I can do if I murder a beat is take the time to go to his funeral.
And with that intro going directly into Mansion, you're starting to get the picture. You're starting to get the picture that he's trying to paint. And the beautiful thing about NF's art is with every album, it feels like, okay, great. This was conceptual. This was amazing. There's a story here, but it always kind of leaves you with the cliffhanger. Like, okay, what's next? You know, he's always been great at that. That's a great business move strategically, but it's also whenever you feel that relatability thread that he extends to you, it's like, oh man, what now? Where's he go from here? You know what I mean? And that always leaves you excited for whatever he does next. And that's when he comes through with something like this, Intro 2 from the Therapy Session album. And personally, I gotta say it. I love Intro 2 because after Mansion, imagine the Christian audience was like, this is a little dark. You know what I mean? This is a little, you know, this isn't, like he said, it's not something, I ain't making this music for the people that sit in the pews, man. I'm a Christian, but I'm making this music for everyone who's been through it, for everybody who's going through real pain, real struggle. That's who I make this music for. And if you don't relate to it, great, get out of the way. I'm not making this for you. And on Intro 2, you would think, like, with Capitol Records and all of that, like, you would think that, you know, he wouldn't be, in spite of the Christian audience that's like, yo, it's a little dark, whatever. And F literally turns the intensity way up, through the roof. And that, I love Intro 2 because of that. And the craziest thing about all of this is, like, even with Intro 2, even Intro 3, it's like, talent-wise, he hadn't even reached his peak yet. So check this out. This is Intro 2. And just understand, like, the relatability thread here is the story continues to progress and how he attaches himself to the story from Mansion and initially takes it a step further by turning the intensity through the roof.
I'm back, did anyone miss me? They said the second record can be tricky. Well, that's kind of funny, cause I am not tripping. My fans, they know what it is and they with me. Yeah, I ain't the type that's gonna ride with the semi. I came from a town with 3 Latino city. Out there doing shows for nothing but pennies. When I leave the stage, they never forget me. Mansion was a glimpse of my life. I let you see what it's like to be in my head. People ask me what I think I'd be doing if it was in music. I'd rather be dead.
Period. Right? Period. And it's this perfect extension off of the story from album 1. And I just think that it's amazing how he just decided he was going to turn the intensity up. And it's like, at the end of the day, you can hate if you want to hate. The people that come to these shows, they know what it is, and they're with me, and I'm with them. We're building something here. This fandom that I have, I'm into making this a relational aspect. I want y'all to share this journey with me. I want y'all to walk through this story with me. It's amazing. And just based off of album 1, I'll let you see what it's like to be inside of my head. That is my mansion, where I hide all of these demons and I hide all of these dark stories and I lock them off, and I literally walked you through it. I walked you through the places in my head where I have put up barriers and walls to guard off from anybody being able to even make an attempt to get to the bottom of what goes on up here. And I walked you through it. I got vulnerable enough to walk you through it. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. and it makes you feel celebratory about it. It's like, yeah, dude, what's next? It's literally like watching a movie.
To myself. I left the door open to come in my mansion, but I never said it's a beautiful house. Some of y'all sat on the porch, looked at my windows and stared at my door. They asked me if I'm gonna kill it this record. I love in their face and I asked him, do you see the blood on the floor? He said it again, and if it's crazy, he's bad for the kids. He never talks about nothing but him. In my face, he's kind of a diva. Well, you need to get some new friends. I'm as chill as he gets till I get on the stage and flip on the switch. And I go to a place where nobody is. If you bring up my name in a song, there's something that you will regret. When the line in the air, I remember the shows when no one was there. I remember the shows when nobody cared. Some people in front of me laughing like he isn't going nowhere. It's funny now, isn't it? This type of life isn't how I envisioned it. This type of life, it just ain't how I pictured it. I'm in the back of the tour bus trying to face to my family is different than what you think it is. Write a review, tell me what you think it is. Give me 3 stars and call me an idiot. But to be honest, it don't make a difference. I know some people don't get it, but you have now entered the therapy session. If you don't like music that's personal, I have no clue what your people are doing and might as well throw out the record.
Period. I love how he's making all of these statements because there was so much criticism that came with Mansion, but he felt like he poured his heart out and he poured his soul out into it. And he said, you know what? I don't care about the haters. Let's take this next step in the journey. And this next step is just adding to the story. I'm going to get even more vulnerable, turn the intensity up even higher. And what does this mean? That he's allowing the pain, instead of allowing the pain to suppress his thoughts and build up barriers, he's now at a place in his life where he's allowing the pain to motivate him and fuel him. And that's amazing. That is your God-given talent, and that's divinity. You know how many lives he's touched through this music? It's undeniable.
Feels like I'm cursed. It's hard to be clean when you play in the dirt. You gave me this place to go when I'm hurt. I thought it'd get better, but it's getting worse. And I got nobody to blame when I work. Like 24/7, I ain't been to church. And Satan keep calling me, he trying to flirt. I hang up the phone, these are more than just words. I drive on the highway and listen to Mansion. I look up to God like, when did this happen? Yelling with all of my fans to wake up. I feel like I have it.
Yeah, dog. And that's what I mean. That emotional pull, bro. Like, I talked to Satan on the phone. He flirting. This is not just words. I'm telling y'all something, bro. I'm telling y'all something. I love that, bro. I love it.
Emotional, I didn't plan this. I'm doing things I never imagined. I'm sorry, but I gotta leave. I don't wanna be late for my therapy session.
It's crazy work, bro. Crazy work. Therapy Session, it goes on to be one of, like, it's definitely a better album than Mansion, and it's almost flawless. And that's when you get to the point of like, okay, I'm taking this guy real serious. Like, he's incredible. He's making great art. All of these albums so far have been conceptual. We're on project 2, and y'all know what's on Therapy Session. How could you leave us being one of the most heartfelt, strenuous, emotionally strenuous songs I've ever been a part of listening to. And I'll tell you guys, I'm an addict, right? So I had been clean already. I had been clean for a few years when that song actually came out. When I first heard it, I lost it because I honestly felt like if I wouldn't have straightened up and I wouldn't have got right with Jesus, that is how my kids would perceive me. That is how my kids would think of me. And it upset me. It made me even want to respond to NF in a way. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't mean it that way, you know? And it's an emotional experience as somebody that is a parent of 2 that, you know, by the grace of God, made it through a heroin addiction. And overall, like, what is Therapy Session? It's a therapy session where it's, I mean, it's letting off anger, right? It's intense. The aggression, it's packed in it. It's not by accident, right? And it's honestly, it's unapologetic. And I think that that's something that all of us can appreciate, right? Because it's not, that is the word I'm looking for. It's non-judgmental. It's non-judgmental. I'm messed up. I'm out of my mind. My pain is deep. And I'm opening up and getting vulnerable so all of you guys can have a relatability thread to hold on to, just like the first one, but this time it's more vulnerable and it's deeper, so it cuts deeper. And once again, at the end of Therapy Session, you feel like, okay, awesome. What's next? You know? And that's the thing about all of his albums. They leave you thinking like, all right, what's next? What's next? So if we go back, we look at Mansion and we look at the intro from Mansion, he's letting you into his mind. That's step 1. And then on the intro 2 from Therapy Session, he establishes himself. He stands in it, right? And he's basically saying like, yo, I'm here and I don't care what y'all think, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm here and this is how I am. I'm stepping into it. Now, intro 3 from Perception is the most important of all the intros, so to speak, because it's the best one. It's the best intro. It's his best rapping. It's his best performance. It's his most iconic of the intros for sure. Just in terms of like intro 1, intro 2, intro 3, outros, all that stuff that he has done up until this point. But also because Perception is probably, if we're being realistic, that's probably his best album, right? Because he really gets into it. It really gets like, it really, you want to talk about it being like a movie experience? It goes there. It's almost as if he's saying like, I know where I am. I know who I am. I know where I come from, and I'm standing in it. But not just that. Now I'm about to fight my way to the top. I'm hungry. Artistically speaking, I'm starving, and I love it. It goes on to be his best project. Check out intro 3 right here. This is one I'm not going to be able to skip around a whole bunch.
What, are you scared of me? It's embarrassing. If it wasn't for me, you would have never wrote Therapy. I've been here for you, but how come you're never there for me? It's a little bit twisted, but I miss when you and I had scary dreams. I don't really want to talk about it. Well, it's too bad now, Nate. Shut up. Now, where were we? Oh, back in the day when you and I had it all mapped out in the basement, crying in your room like a baby. I wish Mom was here, we all do, so we wouldn't have to hear about it every single record. You don't really want to change me? Yeah, I'm the one that made this happen. Do you really want to get rid of your main attraction? Let's pack our bags and go back to Gladwin now.
Now, the importance of this is there is a dark side, right? And it's being introduced. Okay. So up until this point, it's like, yeah, I fight with these demons. I fight with these inner thoughts. I fight with my spirituality. I love God, and I know that God loves me, and I know what my purpose is, and I know what I'm doing, and I stand in it, and I'm coming for the top. But with all of that being said, there's a darker side of me that's trying to work his way out. He's trying to work his way to the top. He's trying to work his way into my place. He's trying to touch these fans. He's trying to get out there. And that egocentric version of myself, I want to fight him. But should I? And that's where your perception comes in. Which side is actually the side? And you get lost in it in the album. It's like, which side is actually the side that best represents Nate?
Yeah, it's time for the third record, and you know I got the content. I don't want to make you nervous, but it ain't like it used to be. We got a lot of people watching. Ooh. You told me that you don't want me in your life. That's pretty hard to digest. And I told you I'll leave when we die. And we ain't died yet. Therapy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Session was beautiful, Nate, but I'm wondering what's coming next. Yeah, get that stupid head off of your head when I'm talking to you. You hear what I said?
And the way that he does this, it makes it seem so real. It makes it seem like these conversations were really happening in his head, and that's what I appreciate about it, right? And then you start to notice a little bit more in depth, like his logo, like real music, real music, and it's like, okay, that's his selling point. That's who he is. This is who he's going to be, and this is when you really figure out you're in it for the long haul. Like you're on a journey that doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon.
Ain't it? You'll spend the rest of your life in my backyard or back of my mind. Depends how you see it. Put the shovel away. Time to go back in the house now. You'll be out in a week. Telling me you want your room back. That's funny, but you ain't got nowhere to sleep.
Time in the mansion.
Look out the window and laugh at you. This is crazy to me, cause I thought you had me in prison this whole time. But I'm the one holding the keys.
It's an incredible intro, and I missed the part where he hits him in the head with the shovel, but that's another part, right? That's one of the deepest, darkest parts of the song, where it's like you realize that the evil version has overcome, and now you're in it for the long haul. You're down for the ride, and I think that Perception really ties into Therapy Session and Mansion really well. It's a good part 3 of the story, but it's also laying the foundation for what comes next, right? And like I said a million times already in this video, and I can't say it enough, he does the greatest job of leaving you in suspense of what's coming next. And another thing that's special about Perception to me is even though you're getting like this dark side of him, you're also coincidentally getting you're getting just his rise as an artist, the people that doubt him and how he overcomes the doubt with his work ethic and it's good message at the end of the day. It's like he says on Green Lights on this very album. He says, "Who you know making clean records, but they're nasty. I was made for this. I could tell when mama had me." And it's for me as a hip hop head, Nate's lyricism and his bars has never been really what sells the music to me. It's not his rapper skills, it's his artistic skills. It's his ability to tell the story in a way that's relatable to everyone. And the other dope thing about intro 3 is it kind of feels like yes, I still carry the baggage. Yes, I still have all of this internal grief and turmoil. And yes, I'm kind of letting the dark version of me out, so to speak. Let him come up to breathe some air, see if he can get some therapy out here. But I'm confident. And that's what you get from Perception. And the point that I'm trying to drive home here really is that, all right, so part threes of stories in general, a part 3 can really be make or break, right? Like especially if the first 2 are great. If the first 2 stories are great, part 3 can be a make or break situation where it's like, okay, we need to conclude here. This is where we need to conclude, but he doesn't. He leaves it open in suspense. And it leaves you wondering, is he going to be able to top this? Is he going to be able to top what he did here? And some would say that the next album that we're about to get into and the next intro that we're about to get into is his greatest. Some people. I'm rolling with Perception as a whole album in totality, but we all know that The Search, being the intro from the Search album, is one of the greatest moments of his career. And the reason that the word perception, the title of the album Perception, is so heavy is because NF really is, and this kind of represents the dark side that we're talking about here, but it really is like how people perceive him, who they perceive him to be versus who he really is. And now he's battling, which one am I? Who am I? Am I somewhere in between? Am I and that's when that dark side grows and starts to conquer, and then you have this battle between the two moving forward with The Search onward, right? So The Search is literally the dark side trying to collide with the good side, from my perspective, trying to collide with the good side and figure out a way out. Like, we've done it. We've talked about all of our pain. We've talked about all of our grief. Now, is there a way that we can start working our way towards a solution, a better place? And this is such a special album. And honestly, in between here, there was a song that came out called No Name. And truly, I hate to leave No Name out of the discussion, but we're specifically talking about intros right now, so I can't really throw No Name into this, but No Name was an important piece as well. Oh, I love this, bro. I absolutely love this.
Hey, Nate. How's life? I don't know.
Beat.
It's all right. I've been dealing with some things like every human being and really didn't sleep much last night. I'm sorry. That's fine. I just think I need a little me time. I just think I need a little free time. Little break from the shows and the bus rides.
Now, already you could tell tonality-wise, it sounds like he has leveled up in terms of rapping, in terms of skill set, in terms of making music, in terms of finding a pocket on these very live-like instrumentals, on these soundtrack-esque instrumentals produced by Tommy Prophet. Incredible producer, right? And just, it sounds big. It sounds like something that can consume you. And the story just continues. And it's something you can really appreciate whenever you dive into these albums and listen to everything in full. But I will say that in terms of just excitement, hype, build up, when I heard this for the first time, I had never been so excited to hear an album probably in my life.
Yeah, last year I had a breakdown.
Come on.
Thoughts telling me I'm lost, getting too loud. Had to see a therapist and I found out something funny's going on up in my house. Yeah, started thinking maybe I should move out. You know, pack my car, take a new route. Clean up my yard, get the noose out. Hang up my heart, let it air out. I've been searching, what does that mean, Nate? I've been learning, grabbing my keepsakes, leaving my burdens. Well, I brought a few with me, I'm not perfect. Looking.
It's so good, man. It's so good. I wish I could listen to the whole song, but they'll demonetize the video and all of that. But it's so good. It's so good how he just constructs everything into this rhythm. The beat breaks down and he just loses it and goes crazy. But I don't ever want y'all to. One of the most important parts of all of these intros is the outro to the intro. That's why I keep playing the outros to them. Check this out.
It's that time again. Better grab your balloons and invite your friends. Seat belts back on, yeah, strap them in. Look at me, everybody, I'm smiling big. On a road right now that I can't predict. Tell me tone that down, but I can't resist. Y'all know that sound, better raise your fist. The search begins, I'm back, so enjoy the trip.
Now it's starting to sound like, all right, I'm comfortable in this darkness. Now, for the Christian fans, that starts to get a little weary. It's like, all right, bro, like you super comfortable in your darkness over there, bro. But he's confident in it, and he's it's not a fictional character, man. This is Nate, real music, and I love The Search. Now, that album, The Search, really represents him searching for a better version of himself. He's searching for peace. He's searching for a new level. He's searching for true, genuine happiness. And he's worried that if he finds it, then he won't be able to appease his audience anymore. Because his whole career has been built off of pain. And that's a very interesting, it's interesting, it's interesting. And I got to say that that's something that I kind of think about with him as well, especially at this point in time where I'm thinking, I don't know, buddy, but I know that I'm down for the ride, whatever. Like he could put out I love his music. He can put out something tomorrow talking about how happy he is, and I would love it. And I know you guys would too. But the fact of the matter is that we would all miss that dark version of him. We're all kind of eagerly awaiting to see him return now. It's crazy, but it's a great album. And this one doesn't really leave you with too much of a cliffhanger. Like, all right, I wonder what happens next. He kind of did it. You know what I mean? He told the story to a point where you didn't think that there was much left to tell. And this next intro that we're about to get into doesn't really tie in to the story necessarily. It does, but it doesn't. And that's the reason why he called this a mixtape instead of an album, because he was just kind of practicing his skill set. He wasn't sure where he wanted to move directionally with his music yet. And he puts out Clouds, which is one of my favorite intros, ironically. I love Clouds. But Clouds is it is mixtape style. It's not necessarily a part of this story. It can tie in, but, it's not necessary. And right here in the beginning, you get the gist of where he's going, right? It's a great intro. Great mixtape. One of my favorite albums, technically.
Calmly feel myself evolving, appalling, so much I'm not divulging. Been stalling, I think I hear applauding. They're calling. Mixtapes aren't my thing, but it's been awfully exhausting.
I just love his flow patterns, man. And it's still him, you know what I mean? So it can still tie into the story, but he's saying it right here, like, calmly feel myself evolving. That's about the only thing you can really tie into it. Everything else from this record, from my remembrance, is just, skill set. It's like, this is who I am right now. I'm not talking about who I'm trying to be. I'm not talking about who I was really in this moment. I'm just talking about what is. And the interesting thing is this is like right on the cups of COVID and all of the crazy stuff that was going on in the world in 2019, 2020 is nuts outside. And he puts this out, has tracks with Hobson, has a track with Tech Nine. It's almost it's almost like rap wise, he's like layers, bro. Rap wise, it's almost like he's on top of his career. And there's great songs on there. One of my favorite songs from him of all time is Prideful. That's on this album as well. So there's a lot of great music on this mixtape. I gotta quit calling it an album. He doesn't call it an album. On this mixtape. And ironically, it's one of my favorite pieces of music that he put together. And I honestly think it's because he didn't really put too much thought into the directional aspect of it. He wasn't worried about letting people down. He knew that he had something in the top that he was working on. And this was just a representation of where he was at this moment in time. Love it or hate it, enjoy it or leave it. And I loved it, personally. It's one of my favorite projects he's ever done. And ultimately, he's on this intro talking about the doubters again. You know what I mean? And how it fuels him and how it motivates him.
I always advance, say how I fail, you know I stand. Raising the bar, I gotta expand. Top of the charts, I'm setting up camp. Pounding my stakes, I put on my tent. Shoot for the stars, they fall in my hand. Stick to my guns, I don't even flinch. Can push all you want, ain't moving an inch. I rarely miss, you know I'm relentless. Ain't got a choice, no way to prevent it. Just who I am, and I don't regret it. See what I want, and then I go get it. Follow my gut, I'm happy I did it. Beat all the odds, I ain't got no limits. Can it be stopped? You paying attention? I ain't gotta say it. They know where my head is, they know where my head is.
It's great. I mean, it's a great intro to a great masterpiece of a mixtape. And it was a great here, take this while I continue to work on this album and enjoy it. And people enjoyed it and they thought it was great. But it ultimately led people to wonder, because of the way the search ends and because of the way this didn't really have a directional output, it left people wondering, what's next? What are you doing? Where are you going from here? He had a baby, he's married, and I really believe that he has a lot of fans out there that are like nerve-wracked at the fact that if you're happy, I'm terrified. I'm terrified if Nate gets, and I'm not that way. I'm rooting for him in that way because I'm a follower of Christ and I want him to have that peace that I have. And this, for me, hope is, I would say right behind Perception, my number 2 favorite album because of the directional output. He really gave it his best foot. He put his best foot forward and he tried here. And Hope is, to me, the best introduction to any of his albums because it's so honest and it's so exciting. It's like, if you're looking at it in terms of a movie or a story, this is the part where the underdog finally finds his way to the top, with a thread of hope that he can continue to stay put. And ultimately one of the best videos as well, right?
Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me. I know you've been waiting.
This doesn't even need a breakdown.
I know you've been praying for my soul. 30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me I'm the reason we're stagnant.
Yeah, I don't have to remain in this mind frame. I don't have to remain in this darkness. I don't have to be a slave and a prisoner to these specific fans that don't want me to evolve and don't want me to grow. I can do it, and I can still have that relatability thread for you. Watch this.
30 years you've been claiming you're honest and promising progress. Well, where is it at?
Now we also get the opportunity to see the face-off again, right? Because on intro 3, you see the face-off between Dark Nate and Light Nate. And here you see Light Nate in the middle of an ocean, you know what I mean? Trying to find a way home, trying to find a way back. And it's like the dark version of him is like, nah, man, we selling records, bro. We out here getting it. You got to stay put. You just keep right in that middle of that ocean. That's where you belong. You stay out there. And then they have a face-off. And we have to watch the whole face-off, right? And then it gives you this drawback to Mansion.
Pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window, questioning if that is ever going to show up.
Chills.
This is something he's gonna have to worry about. Don't get it twisted, that was in the shop. Mama, I forgive you. I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough.
Chills.
30 years of running, 30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of fate, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never evolve. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking the reins.
What a celebratory moment for NF fans like me that want to see him win, that want to see him happy. It was like, yes, yes. Now who's holding the reins? Now who's winning? We got him back. And even though I love the journey and I love the music from all of these albums, that moment in time felt like he's found his roots with the Holy Spirit again. He has found his Christian roots again. He is working his way to where he belongs, man, in a place of peace, happiness with his family. And we saw the fans celebrate this moment. I went and saw him live on the Hope Tour, and when he performed this, people were just louder than they were with the Search, man. It was just like, yes, you know what I mean? Thank God. Like, thank God. We all felt so great for him. There's a lot of moments on this album that just bring peace. Mama, what a powerful record coming off of How Could You Leave Us, right? Where it's like, I forgive you. And even in this song, Mama, I forgive you. I just don't want them to grow up thinking that they'll never be enough. I'm 30, however years old whenever this comes out, and I feel that in my chest, man. And that's what Nate has always been, is a great representation of growth, a great representation of fighting to be a better version of yourself, even when it doesn't make sense. Even when it makes sense to just dive into your darkness. And that's something I'll forever appreciate. And then we got the new one. We got Fear, which is an understandable place, but I think we all left the Fear EP, which I kind of treat like Clouds, but it is a continuation of the story. It's like if Clouds was the continuation instead of just a middle ground, Fear is a continuation of the story. And I think that Fear, the whole EP, left all of us feeling like, man, you know what I mean? And that's unfortunately where we are in the story. And once again, we're all on the edge of our seats wondering what's next. So check out Fear. I don't know, man.
Hello,
I love the song.
My old friend.
I hate to see this.
Knocking at my door again.
But it's understandable, man, because it's also a representation of just what's going on outside. Hello, darkness, my old friend, knocking at my door again.
Begging me to come outside. Let you back into my life. Now, usually I'd be strong enough to lock the doors and keep them shut. But not today, I'm desperate. So go ahead and come on in. So go ahead and come on in.
And it leaves you to wonder, man, great song. Like structurally, the sound of the music and the way that he's artistically attacking these records. Now, I will say for this EP, Tommy Prophet was obviously not present, right? And the new producer that he was working with was great. I'm not taking anything away from him. He was a great producer, but there's a chemistry and there's kind of a home-hitting feel that goes along with Tommy and NF that was just missing here. It was like a piece of the soul was missing, on top of him kind of talking about how he gave it the old college try. He tried his best, but I got to let this darkness back in. And then you're wondering why. What made you feel like you needed to let that darkness back in? Was it the fans? Was it the fact that you feel like you need that darkness to create? It could be. And if so, then there's no judgment coming from me. It's just, I feel for him, you know? I want to see him win. I want to see him achieve. And yeah, this leaves you in suspense. It leaves you in suspense. And the song sounds incredible as he holds his gas can and he's looking up at God and he's like, why would you give me this happiness and this peace just to watch me have to burn it to the ground, essentially? Like, and then you see him burn the mansion, which insinuates that all that stuff that was in his head is gone. It's like he overcame that. However, it's almost as if to say that there's a new chapter on the way, but it's like his darkness is still with him, even in this new chapter of life. And I'm intrigued to see where that goes, but I'm also nervous as a fan. Like right here, this breaks my heart.
You want now, petrified, scared to death. Is this what you want now? praying to God that's for real. Is this what you want, yeah? What you want, yeah? Is this what you want, yeah? Hanging on by a thread. Is this what you want, yeah? Empty heart, nothing left. Is this what you want, yeah? Breaking down, spiraling. Is this what you want, yeah?
And like I said, man, the music is incredible. This is some of his best music, like what he's put together sonically and just musically. I feel like he's on top of his game. I really wanted to see a more celebratory offering after Hope. I wanted to see him like double down in the hope, and it's not up to him. That's the thing about this is like it's not like I'm wishing for a different outcome, but I'm not wishing that he did anything differently because this is real. This is really how he feels, and I think I don't know if we're in suspense after this or if we're just at a point of like, man, I hope he don't break. You know, because he's literally asking the fans to like give up on him on this album, which we're not gonna do. But he's like obviously asking the fans like give up on me because I need to feel that motivation. I need to feel that. I need to feel like I ain't got nothing. I need to feel like I got nobody. And the scary part is I think that the reason he feels that way is because that's what's most comfortable. And now that he's married and he's got children and he's got this good life ultimately and he's got these people that love him, I think that's an uncomfortable feeling that we all go through. And personally, I feel in my heart of hearts, I feel him because like when I started to do well with my life and when my marriage started to take off and do really well and when my kids are growing up and they're looking happy, in the beginning I felt like, oh my God, God is going to take this from me. I don't deserve this. I could never deserve this with what I've done. But the thing is, the God that we worship and the Jesus that we love, he doesn't operate based off of deserve and earn. He operates out of love. So who are you to decide what you deserve or what you don't deserve? He just does it because he loves you. And we all believe that Nate does ultimately deserve this peace and does ultimately deserve this happiness. And I think that God is going to continue to grant him with that. But I think it might make him uncomfortable for the time being. I do think that over the course of time, as your relationship with God grows, you do ultimately see that, you do ultimately see that you'll be okay. Like it's not about earn or deserve. It's just off of God's grace and his love for you. And once you surrender to that, you find yourself in a better place. And I hope that that's what happens next for Nate. But these intros, amazing, fire. What did you guys think about it? If you like this video, make sure you comment, subscribe, share, do all of the stuff, hype the video, do all of that for me. I need it. The algorithm is killing us as YouTube creators right now. And I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.